Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the mayor here, Heath Sheeran, live from Memphis, Tennessee, and talking to you today about how to deal with Eeyores. We're going to talk about that this week. And today we're going to talk about, can you change an Eeyore? And, I know we all want to think of ourselves, or I should say it this way, none of us want to think of ourselves as Eeyores. Nobody wakes up in the mornings that I know of and says, you know what, I'm just going to be an Eeyore today. Maybe we have those days where it's like, I don't want to do anything today, or I'm feeling lethargic, or I don't feel well, but just a general disruptor or a general Eeyore to be a cancer in the agency, as Kelly said. None of us think that way, or they want to be that way. And we all want to think of ourselves as more like Tigger and more ready to go and get the job done and bounce around. And, we all want to have that symbiotic relationship. And sometimes we just don't. And each person plays their own role within the agency. But today, we're going to talk about, can you change an Eeyore? And I think sometimes that breaks down to why someone might be an Eeyore. And maybe it's looking and figuring out the roles in the agency. And a lot of times they might be an Eeyore, they might be disruptive or pushing back or not wanting to do certain things because maybe they're in the wrong seats. Maybe they're not in the right role in the agency. Maybe they're not excited about the work that they do because they, either overworked, or maybe they don't fit that role very well, or they're just unhappy. And so I don't know if we could change them, but I think if we could, maybe it would be, finding a role that fits best for them, or maybe sitting down and talking to them. Maybe they don't know that they're being a cancer in the agency. Maybe they don't know that they're being an Eeyore. And I think maybe it starts with a leadership team sitting down with someone and just, visiting with them and talking to them about what's going on. And maybe it's something they're dealing with at home. Maybe it's something they're dealing with in their life. Maybe it's just something they need to deal with. And maybe they need a couple of days off. Maybe it's something like that. Or maybe, in your reviews with them, you discuss this with them and figure out what it is. Maybe they need to, have their role changed up a little bit. Or maybe some of the tasks they have to do as part of the job description may need to change. And again, that may or may not work. And if that's, something that doesn't work, maybe getting the rest of the team involved to be able to talk about this as a team and have the whole team come together and explain and talk about, just the culture of the agency, what your expectations are. Maybe it's not communicated properly, the expectations. But I think clear communication with the Eeyore in the office could definitely help in this situation. Can you change someone? There's a difference in someone who's, having a bad day, or someone that's having an Eeyore-esque day, to use Eeyore-isms, or maybe they're, just having a rough patch in life. But if it's a perpetual Eeyore in the agency, sometimes you may have to sniff those out and get rid of them altogether if they truly are in that sense. But I think maybe starting with looking at what their job is and discussing that with them and figuring out what that is, because there's some of those people in your life that are in your agency that are Eeyores. They're really good at what they do, maybe, and they really have their strong places and their strong points in what they do. Maybe they just need to have their role defined a little. Maybe they're really good at one thing, but they don't enjoy doing another. And maybe we could figure out a way to make that process easier for them, or that role in their job description a little easier for them, or something that they might enjoy, or take that off of their plate and give that role to someone who's more of a Tigger. I think there's a place for someone to push back if they're uncomfortable in things, or if someone's pushing back on something, maybe there's a place for the brakes to be pumped, as Kelly said yesterday. But all in all, can you change an Eeyore? I think it comes down to figure out maybe why they are an Eeyore. And if they're still resistant to change, and still resistant to adapting to agency culture, or resistant to any kind of change for that matter, I think that it might be a time to get rid of the cancer in the agency, get rid of the bad vibes to help the entire team. And one other note on that, you can't go into that with a fear or a scarcity mentality that if I let the Eeyore go, I'm going to have a hard time filling that position, because there are plenty of candidates out there. There are plenty of options out there for us to replace them with. And it's just a matter of having that confidence to be able to go in and talk to the Eeyore and visit with them about maybe building their confidence and going back to a place where they feel like they can be less of an Eeyore or more of a Tigger for that matter. Guys, I really look forward to me learning this week and also participating in this week's 3-minute videos. Hope this has been a little bit helpful for you, and stay tuned for the next one.
Hi everyone, it's a special PSA, public service announcement here for our loyal followers and listeners of our 3-minute videos. So we started doing a daily 3-minute video when COVID hit. It was our way of connecting, and people were at home, and we wanted to bring positivity to the world. But now, as we have hit the 2-year mark of doing a daily video, we've decided it's time to change things up a little bit. We have some other forms of content that we think you're going to love. So the 3-minute videos will not be putting in a graveyard. They are instead going to be changed up a little bit. So what you're going to see is a little bit of a throwback video. We're going to highlight our top 10 greatest hits in the last 2 weeks. Then we're going to go all into talking about commercial sales as Heath Sharon is emerging with his new course on how to prospect and sell commercial. So great for anybody out there. You're going to start to see our content change up in the month of July and get into a new rhythm in August. We can't thank you enough for your loyalty to our 3-minute videos. We know that they've given people a lot of tips and tricks, and we've gotten a ton of followers out of them. But just like everything in life, all good things must come to an end, and we think we've got something extra special cooking up our sleeves, so we can't wait to share that with you. In the meantime, please go like our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Like them. That's where you're gonna get special announcements. Also, make sure you're watching your email for even more special announcements on everything. We appreciate everything that you guys have done, and we can't wait to share with you different forms of content. So we're not going away. You're still gonna get all the APP awesomeness in your inboxes and on your social media channels. We're just gonna change things up just a smidge to make it even more ridiculously amazing for you. Thank you so much, and we absolutely look forward to what's next. Take care.